Right. Welcome back to our second week of Y.Y.C.I International Academic Mindset for Transforming Relationship Masterclass. We welcome you all. Thank you so much for coming back. And this week is also going to be an interesting week because we have amazing teachers, mentors, and speakers and trainers that will be sharing with us today and even for the rest of this week. Because tomorrow is actually the Valentine. Let me also use this time to advise you or encourage you to invite your friends, your families, your co-workers, members of your group, and many, many more to come and join us this week, especially today as well as other days, and even tomorrow and up till Friday, to come and listen and learn valuable points of how they can rekindle the fire in them for love, how they can restore and renew and reconnect and rebuild their trust, their relationship, their love, how they can forgive, how they can live a happy life together, and even have a good working life with others. Okay, so our first teacher, lecturer, trainer, and even my mentor, my papa, is going to be the first one to share with us on Mindset for Transforming Love, Part 2. If you have missed the Part 1, it was amazing. Please visit YYCI.tv YouTube channel to watch the Part 1 of this great masterclass. So, without wasting much of your time, may I invite Reverend Professor Akpabio. Okay? Reverend Professor Akpabio is an engineer, electrical engineer, and member Association of Supervisory and Executive Engineers of London, AMSEE. Professor Akpabio is also a professor of theology and biblical studies, fellow Association of Christian Theologians, FACT, fellow at College of Chaplaincy and Psychology, Nigeria, FCCP. Professor Akpabio is also the chairman of National Executive Council Association of Christian Theologians. He's also the provost of World Harvest Bible College and Seminary Calabar, CRS, Nigeria. Reverend Professor Akpabio is also the general overseer of Kingdom Builders Ministry, INC, and is also the president and visionary at Ministerial Consultancy Network. Reverend Professor Akpabio is also a licensed marriage counselor and teacher on marital issues. He's the head of administration of World Organization of Ambassadors, African Chancellor, WOA. He is an international and continental speaker in conferences and seminars, and a member of Bible Research Institute, MBRI, theological scholar and book writer. He's a child of God and a minister of the gospel who is called to teach, to preach, to train, to share his wealth of knowledge and wisdom, and to take people to their God's destined destination or destiny. Is also a privilege and accepted speaker of Yes You Can International, YYCI. Is also the patron and the advisory board member of Yes You Can International United Kingdom. So permit me this morning to invite Reverend Professor Akpabio to share with us, to continue where he started last week, where he paused last week, to share with us again and again on mindset for transforming our love. So I believe we are all ready. So I welcome Professor Dr. Mercy Obey for joining us today and other leaders that are on the platform. So be ready and let us learn together, share whatever you want to share on the platform, but listen and also ask questions. It's very important. We are dealing with a very important questions. And before we start going to the shops to buy your gifts for your friends and your wives and your husband and every other person you know, for Valentine tomorrow, please invite your friends to join us on this platform, because we are dealing with this important information that can transform our relationship and our love. So welcome to this platform, and we welcome Reverend Professor Akpabio. Thank you, sir. We can't hear you. Okay. Today is another day that the Lord has made. We will continue to rejoice and be glad in it, while we are waiting for Reverend Professor Anefo to unmute himself and
okay.
That. Oh, wonderful. You are welcome, sir. Okay.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody for being here in this particular time to study at the feet of the Master. And I know God has a lot of things to give to us. I know most of the time network decide to net the work. But be that as it may, what God has meant for us, we are going to achieve them. So you are fully welcome today again on the issue of mindset of transforming love and marriage. And today I will really concern, as the Queen have told us, on the aspect of love, part 2, because we started part 1 last week. Welcome again. When we look at the issue of love, we have said before, and I explained, that if we want to give the definition of the word love, we said every human being has a feeling towards another person to be loved. And if every woman has, everyone needs love, but the issue is love. Is it the aspect of the carnal or is it the aspect of the spiritual? Today, God will bring to us more of the in-depth understanding of love. So when we come to marriage tomorrow, we shall understand that God has given us the foundation whereby we might sustain our loving. To add to what I said last week, I want to say again that love is the deepest affection from the innermost heart that prompts everyone to have a sincere action. When we talk about love, it is the deepest affection from the innermost heart. When love is on the mouth and the lips, you say, I love you, I love you, love you. And the thing has not touched the heart. it becomes lusting. It becomes just a play. But for us to understand, and what this academy is taking us to, is to maintain a love that has to do with the deepest affection from the innermost heart to prompt people to sincere actions. That's the love that will not look at what does it give me. Is it by kind or by cash? It will not talk about that. And I want to say as we go on, do you have a love that comes from the innermost heart? Or a love that is motivated by the flesh? After all, that's what I want. You don't love me, I don't love you. But when you come from the inner, to be sentimental, compelling affection that produces a deep urge within someone. I repeat again, a strong, compelling affection. Love is a strong, compelling affection. Look at the scripture, say, for God so loved the world that he gave. It was a compelling affection. Now that your husband, that your wife does not merit what you should do, but you see a compelling force, a compelling affection that produces a deep intent, a deep urge to do something. When love comes to that extent, you will not mind what the other person have done. You will not mind the offenses. You see that I am compelled to do it. 2 Corinthians say, the love of Christ constrains us, that somebody can die for others. It produces a deep urge within us, the reason that we can love. And I say also that love is a persuading conviction. If in the marital life, if in our day-to-day relationship, we have a preserving, not only that, a persuading force that is telling us, do it now, you will not mind the offenses. Like as I said last week or last time, I will say it again, the undeniable fact about humanity, which if we want to maintain our love relationship, and if we want to make marriage what it should be, we must know it very well, and what sometimes I call human madness. Because despite the fact that we are living together and acting together, there are areas that look well. So love is a compelling affection. Love is a persuading conviction. Love is a strong affection that can help us be what it ought to be. The other aspect is for us to know that true love has an existent virtue from God. For God so loved. What did the world do to merit love? Nothing. But God decided to have that as a constraining virtue. I need to do something for these people. I created them, and they must enjoy my liberty. That's when the married partners come to know this. It will not be that the husband have done all the good things for you before you love, or your wife have done all the good things before you love. But you see a compelling force that will help you to do something that you can lay hold, and that person may be convicted. Even when I'm bad, this person is still loving me and can make things go very well. So let us remember that real love is taught by God. The Bible says in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 19, he teaches us to love. And so when we need to understand the love, then we need to see what God has really done for us. I go back to remind us of that word that I said last time, the undeniable facts that we must know about life. And that was from my book, Making Your Marriage Meaningful. And there are some things you cannot deny, and some things we must actually agree upon. Because there are certain times your husband may not be what you really expected. Your wife may not be what you really expected.
Please try to open your camera if you can, please.
Sure that marriage must go on. Then things must be known. Undeniable fact we need to. When you see what we do and what we talk about in marriage. Hello?
Yes, we are. Yes, continue, sir.
Okay. You were talking about my camera or the other one over there?
No, or the others.
Okay. So as I said, that when we look at marriage and we look at love, because let's start again, first of all, in the aspect of the married people. There's something we must understand, that when you come to marry, there is that person you marry will never be exactly as you are. We are autonomous. We are created by God for a purpose. Every one of us have our uniqueness. And if we are to enjoy the liberty of marriage, we must understand facts and stand by the fact we understand to make our marriage what marriage ought to be. So we go to the issue of the situation of the story of love. What do we mean by the subject of love? What are the kinds of love that we see in the world today? I mentioned them one by one from that book. That the types of love and love relationship, as expressed in the book of Songs of Solomon, chapter 2, the first thing I saw and I see in verses 1 and 2, a kind of case study, we see a recognizing love relationship. If we want to maintain, for those of us who are married, and we want to talk about love, there must be, number one, a recognizing love relationship. That is when the woman recognizes the position and the place of the man, and the man recognizes the value and what the wife can bring about. We recognize ourselves. We understand our weakness. We understand our strength. And with that recognition, you see, I will deal with my wife or I will deal with my husband in the way it will be better because I have recognized the fact. The Bible said, like a lily in the waters, so is my beloved. And like an apple among the trees, so is my partner. Which means recognize yourself that even when you are married, you are a person that surrounded by certain things that can influence, and affect you. And by the time you recognize that, you decide to work towards maintaining the love that it was. A recognizing love relationship. Do you recognize who your husband is? Do you recognize who your wife is? Do you recognize, if you are a young person here, do you recognize that person you say is my sweetie, that person that you say I'm courting, that person you say I'm studying, those people that are talking, do you really recognize? Because there is a danger in courtship, a time to study one another, to know whether it could be better for marriage or not. Let me tell you, that humanity. What we call this, that no matter how you get close to that, you know my father's again. They can cover up and cover up and cover up. So what will make us overcome is a recognizing love relationship. Recognize that be weak. This is a man. It can be nothing, it can be another thing else. When you read verse 30 of that song we call a satisfied and aims at satisfying one another. So sometimes when you go even into sex, so we will talk about that more. When we go into that, there may be moment and time you don't feel like, but because this is your partner, and if you cannot do anything to him or her, Where do you want her or him to enjoy or to have the satisfaction? And so we decided to make sure I satisfy my partner, not just sex alone, even in financial aspect, even in religious aspect, even in the spiritual aspect. We must come to have this. When you read that verse, you see, they recognize, sit under me. He said, I sit under him with great delights and make sure that I get satisfied. One of the things I've seen as a marriage counselor is that many wives are not satisfied with their husband. Many husbands are not satisfied with their wife. And the satisfying love relationship is not there. So that's where it opened the door to look for satisfaction somewhere else where it ought not to be so. Because if we develop that aspect of satisfaction and maintain that love relationship, no matter what somebody is doing outside, it will not even attract their interest. We go to number 3, that is a cherishing love relationship. And that's verse 4 of Songs of Solomon chapter 2. I say, want to do a case study to gain some fact and truth there. Then we have a relationship. He said, he bring me under the shadow. His banner over me was love. Apart from Valentine, and we talk about this Valentine. Do we even have beyond Valentine a moment we celebrate our partners? Celebrating them even before their birthday. Celebrating them even before their marriage anniversary. When we have a cherishing love relationship, to cherish means to value, to see it important, and to make sure that if you mess up, you can destroy a lifetime relationship. And then we begin to cherish, we feel happy, and we take the partner into our world. I tell every married person, strive as much as you can to take your partner into your world. Let their husband or your wife come into your world. Let him enjoy your world. Let him understand your world. Let your partner understand what is going on. When you take him into your world, it makes sense. He said, he brought me into the banqueting hall. He took me into a place of saying, I cherish you. Not until December that we buy new clothes for our wife. Not until event that you buy something for your husband. Let there be a cherishing relationship where you take yourself and you are persuaded in appreciation to say, man, because of how we love ourselves, take this from me. It is a thing that can really make meaning as far as marriage is concerned. And the mindset of transformation is to make us to understand love is not only on the aspect of sex, on the aspect because he can do this or he can do that for me. The other one that is seen in that verse 4 is what I call a projecting and advertising love relationship. A projecting and advertising love relationship. You see, if you have anything very vital, you advertise. Most of the time you see people, they wear clothes to the church. They take it and pass on Facebook. What are they trying to do? They are trying to advertise themselves. Whenever the marriage partner begins to advertise themselves, begin to cherish themselves, and have that advertising or what I call the projecting love relationship, we project the man. We project the woman. We project the marriage. You see, the devil will never have a chance to come and destroy that marriage because they know what you stand for. Even our friends who may not actually be happy that you marry that man or that you marry that woman, and they maybe are not, they'll come and tell you a lot of stories. You will projective marriage will throw them away, and you project what you have. Even when you come and see things wrong, you say, this is my wife. I learned a lesson. In the scriptures, we know when a wife of somebody went and did all the bad things, and everybody thought it would drive the person away. Rather, what did he do? He claimed the wife and go his way. Last time I told us about Adam and Eve. If it was not a projecting and advertising love relationship, if it is today's men, they could have killed Eve in the garden and go their way. Because a woman that have come to make you short of every blessing you could have received all the authorities, all the power, all the privilege in the Garden of Eden, and because of her mistake, you are driven out and sent into the world to suffer. Nobody could have thought it very well. But there was a cherishing love. Eve was taken by Adam and they moved out together. So let us remember that when we talk about marital love and the mindset of this love, there must be that aspect of projecting and advertising. Woman, or my dear sisters, when last did you advertise your husband? I talk about good things about him. Even when Abigail saw that Nabal was another human being, he projected the thing to David very well. He said, don't mind the man, as his name is, so is he. But don't do that, because tomorrow somebody will say that you killed someone because you were hungry. There was a projecting aspect. So I would love us, if you want to enjoy love, man, take our wife well. Sometimes men don't appreciate their wives. Sometimes they don't project them. They can only project the mistake, project the failure, project the complaint. But let us begin now to project real things, that even when this woman is what you may think, there is a place that is better. And when you go to verse 5 of these Songs of Solomon chapter 2, we realize an arousing and stimulating love relationship. There's need for arousing and stimulating love relationship, where at that time it will arouse the interest of your partner and love. Not all the time. It will be easy to remain and relax and laugh and laugh. But there are certain times you can tickle your partner's vanity. Make him laugh a little. Make him forget about what is going on. Make him do something. Arouse the interest. Arouse the hope. There are many of the men, when the issue of hardship is come, and they know the wife and the children are looking up to them, they can all the time put their hand on their neck and they will be sitting like that. Woman, that's the time to arouse the interest. It has not been over. It will be over. Good works will help. The same thing, man. Don't look at your wife. Like I said last time, in your wilderness alone. Don't, because you see me in trouble, you forget about me. Woman, that's your case. When you finish, you follow me. No, when we come to the issue of love in marriage, there must be that arousing of interest. Encourage, take your wife or your husband out of the realms of sorrow into the realms of joy. Encourage your husband. It will be well. It will be well. Do you remember one thing in 2 Kings chapter 4? When that woman's child died, and the woman did not tell the husband that the child had died. The man has sent the child to the mother and the child died. The woman just kept the child on the bed of Elisha and went to tell the husband, I want to go and see the man of God. He said, why do you want to go? What did she say? He shall be well. But when he reached Elisha, and Elisha said, what has happened? He said, it is well. When we come to a point where we cannot give an answer, let's give encouraging word. It shall be well. Tomorrow will be better. Don't kill yourself. We are still going on. Sympathetic hearts will now come in. That aspect of a situation that I feel the pains, that's empathical. We feel the pains and we say, don't worry, it will be better. Those words can encourage. Husbands, let's have these words towards our wives. Wife, let's have this word towards our husband. We arouse the interest and we make sure we stimulate. You see, he will tell you, I didn't want to do that because you have encouraged me. That's what we are here for. And when you go to that verse 5 down, we have what we call a desiring and panting love relationship. There is need for a desiring and panting love relationship. A situation that if you go out, I've also learned like nature. If a woman is nursing a child and she travels to anywhere, goes to anywhere, when the child begins to cry and feel that it should suck the breast of the mother will feel the breast coming out small in her nipple, and she will know my child is over there. There's something, an indicator that somebody is looking for me. If all the partners have known and have this mind, somebody is looking for me. somebody is me, somebody is for me, there will be aspect that we do everything to encourage the other person. So we see there was that desiring and panting heart. Let me see my love. Let me see my love. Let me see your countenance. Let me feel your trust. He brought me to the banqueting house. His banner over me is love. These are things that can make marital home what the home should be. We continue to see that the next kind of love we see that can really help is the ravishing, satisfying love relationship. That's verse 7. Ravishing, satisfying love relationship. You know the right use of hands, and you know the right use of kisses, you know the right use of sexual aspects. So when we come into marriage, because I'm talking to married people, when I want to talk to those who are not yet married, we will also say, well, some of us are bought up with love, and we feel that is love at all. There is that ravishing, unsatisfying love relationship, and that is what will encourage sex. That's what will encourage relationship. That's what will encourage us sitting together, laughing together. That's what will encourage a little bit of cuddling and the rest of the story, which you know better even than me. We continue to say that when that is done, the next kind of relationship we see in that Songs of Solomon is a caring and mindful love relationship. Many a times, the married people don't care. They don't even care at all. Do you care for your partner? Do you have a feeling of what is going on there? A caring and mindful love relationship. She was mindful of the partner's welfare, and he told everybody, when you see my beloved, don't wake him up until he decides to please. Let's care. That caring will help. Woman, that caring will make your husband to feel, yes, I married a mother, not a wife. Some men are looking for a wife material or a husband material. I have in one of my books, How to Know That You Are Worth Marrying. That is for young people. How can you become a wife material or a husband material? Because many people in the marital home, they are not worth the material that they ought to be. And so when we display things we should not display, we see things going out of way. We know there is also the appreciating love relationship. Appreciate. A woman called me and told me, or a man called me and told me, what do I do with my wife? I said, what happened? He said she wanted money for cloth. It was 150,000 naira. I told her I have only 80,000. And she said she doesn't want it. I said, okay, take the money. And he carried the money and threw on me. So I packed the money. I wouldn't give her again. And carry the money away. It was when I carried the money away, she said, oh, give me now. And because she did not appreciate, I did not want to give. What do? I will not go into what I answer. But one thing is important. Anything we do in the marital home, there should be appreciation. The man should appreciate the wife. There are sometimes she may not be able to cook normally as she normally cook, and the salt can be more, the oil can be more, certain things can be more than what it is. Appreciate it, take it. There are sometimes it will be better. The same thing to your husband. There might be times he may not be able to do all we should do the time he should do it. Appreciate, because one day cannot give a judgment of the whole lifetime marriage. So they have that aspect of appreciating. We come even to verse 10 when we have a verbal speaking love relationship. Verbal love relationship where we speak. Let me see your countenance. Let me feel your love. For your countenance is sweet to me, and your word is good. Let there be that aspect of appreciating. Let there be that verbal communication. Oh, you see what the Bible says in Songs of Solomon. Oh, your breast is like this, your face is like this, your teeth is like this. All those things are appreciation. And I want to say to us men and women in our marital home, let us have the appreciating love relationship style, where you recognize every bit of thing your partner is doing, where you come into a common loving understanding, and where you admire whatever is given. Let it not even be sweet to every other person. Let it be sweet to you, because you know, if today is not working well, tomorrow can work well. And that will even help you to know what you should do. We get out from the verse 11 to 13, tells us about a sensitive love relationship. There must be sensitivity, because human beings, we are sensitive. Women are multifaceted. Men are single-faceted. A woman can say 7 things at a time and still remember all of them. But the man just want to know one thing and stand on one thing to fulfill that one thing. And so when you come to that direction, there must be the issue of sensitivity. If he said you wait first, we will take care of that. Wait. Not even, you must say it today. If you don't say it today, that's where battle and fighting comes in. Sensitivity is ability to check and know what is going to be this thing I'm holding on. If fight comes, will I be able to fight? When we are sensitive to one another, it will help. That place at such a time, you know the time and the season in your marriage. Know the times and the season, even in love making, even in play, even in prayer, even in everything. Know the timing, be sensitive, and that will be okay. Verse 14 talks about an admiring love relationship. Admiring love relationship. In that place, you give your partner the full name. Some of us married people, you only call your husband by the name of the first daughter or the first son. And some will call their wife by the name of the first. What is the name you call your wife? What is the name you call your husband? And that's where we talk about a marrying love relationship. I've told us one day I was having a seminar of marriage. Married people were there because when it comes to married people, I will talk raw, just as it's supposed to be. And so when we're talking, what name do you call your wife? Kinds of name. I know you can put your own, the one you call each other. But when I come to one, somebody say, I want to be very frank, Pastor. I call my wife a cockroach because my wife is a cockroach in my cupboard. So I said, what do you say? He said, my wife is a cockroach in my cupboard. You know what cockroach can do? It will eat all the Bible books. It will destroy a lot of things. And so when they were talking, I saw the woman swell up. And the atmosphere of the place was tense. And there was to be a real quarrel and fight. So with wisdom, I told the pastor of the church that I went to minister, I said, please go and buy me insecticide. The pastor said, for what? I said, don't worry, buy me insecticide. So they went and bought insecticide and brought and give me. The pastor was watching. Everybody was watching what I'm going to do. So I gave the insecticide to the man. I said, if your wife is a cockroach in your cupboard, flick the cockroach to go so that you can pick your wife and go. Everybody laughed. The tension was calm. Things goes back. And that showed that the man did not have what we are looking at, admiring love relationship. You know, what we talk to each other, especially before others matter. The language we talk to before our children to our partner, it matters much. And so when we talk about love, real love is shown by the character you display. I move from there to verse 15 of that Songs of Solomon chapter 2. I call it a communicating love relationship. Let there be a communicating love relationship. Let there be some moments, a woman or man, know it very well. Not every time is good for communication. Somebody says, as far as communication is concerned, you may have the right thing to say, but the tone you use, the time you want to say it, and the action you do will cancel the good thing you wanted to do. So in communication, you must have the right tone, the right word, the right time, and the right action. That is also important to maintain love, because love is vulnerable. Most of small things can kick off love. But when love has gotten a foundation, it can stand. A communicating love relationship. You share your opinion with one another, you open your mind to one another, and you love hearing your partner. Not a situation like some of us who are men. We don't have time for our wife to talk too much. You want to talk in the morning, I am engaged. You want to talk in the night, I am too tired. You want to talk in the midnight, I want to rest, to pray, to go to work. You want to talk in the morning until I come back. We must make time. Let me tell us in the marital home, when you don't make time for something that is essential, that thing will break the marriage and will destroy the marriage. And when a woman decides to stop talking, she may do that at her heart, and then she does, because they can have the mind to do that. So let there be a communicating love relationship. Verse 15 also talk about the nurturing love relationship. There should be a nurturing. There should be a moving to see what do I mean by nurturing? Removing everything that will possibly affect your love relationship. Not only that, deal with all the focus and focuses that will destroy your family. Not only that, value the tendency of your marriage. Value it. And the last one, preserve your marital tender grape. He said, our vine is too vital. Therefore, because of that, let us protect. There are foxes. Let us take away the foxes. So please, I appeal to us. If love is to be what it should be, we should take away the foxes so that things can go very well. And the last aspect of love I talk about in marriage is called an accepting love relationship. That is what the climax of marriage is all about. When the husband accepts the wife, when the wife accepts the husband, when the children accept the parents, and when the parents accept the people. And as we accept one another, let an infiltrator come from outside and say, this is what your wife will not mind, because you have accepted. You fit your partner well, you claim the right of what you are doing, you deserve more of the honor and blessings upon them. When you do that, you see, that love is getting to a point that it should be. And that will do for one thing. Because in marriage, I have realized that there are three major marital needs, and love is to affect them. The first marital need, which we should use love to make sure we have, is what I call spiritual need of marriage. There is a spiritual need of marriage. There is an emotional need of marriage. And there is a physical need of marriage. I will explain them now. So that when we talk about love, everybody feels that love should be action. My husband should love me. He should buy clothes for me. He should buy this. My wife should love me. Whenever I talk, he must obey. Like when some people hold on the word, the husband love their wife submit. And we feel that the only duty of the woman is to submit, whether it is wrong or not. We will see from the scripture that some of those injunctions, when we emphasize as preachers and teachers, is not correct. Because if you talk about Ephesians chapter 5, I tell everybody, start from verse 21. Don't start from verse 22. Verse 22 say, wife, submit to your own husband. But if you hear verse 21, it says, submitting yourself one to another in the fear of God. Submission is for two of us. Submission is to tell, I let go in order to get what I'm looking for, not I hold tight. Submit yourself one to another in the fear of God. So man, it is not a duty, you must submit. Bible says submit. And you yourself, you don't even submit to God who you worship. So when we look at that and we come down to say, wife, submit in everything, submit as unto the Lord. Submit, what does the scripture really mean? So we say, number one, let me explain the spiritual need of marriage. So that as we know, we can now extend. When love flows, those things will work well. I said in my book that this state is a place to do, it has to do with spiritual intimacy, the sense of unity, and mutual commitment to God's purpose for the partner. There is a spiritual need of marriage. And my dear one that are listening to me, if you cannot succeed in the spiritual realm, you will not succeed in the physical. Everything that affects us in the physical starts in the spiritual. So when you cannot maintain, number one, the spiritual intimacy with your wife, that is a spiritual need. There must be spiritual intimacy. If he prayed, you say amen. A woman told me, I don't believe in my husband ministry. He's not a pastor. Please go and ask him, are you a pastor? Because I don't see the fruit of pastorship in the house. That shows that there is no connection. The spiritual intimacy, the sense of unity, and the mutual commitment to God's purpose for your life. When that is taken up, you see there will be a need of praying together. The more we pray together and move together, we can see the marriage going on the way it should go. At such a time, there will be flow. At such a time, because you've conquered in the spiritual, the physical will be easy. When last do you pray with your wife or your husband? When last do you sit down, open the Bible, and you read it all together? I can come to see also that men do some funny things. Morning prayer is for the woman and children. The husband is the chief priest. He cannot enter. If he enter, he only share the grace. The grace of the Lord be with you all. Amen. And that's all. But we must come to know that in spiritual need of marriage, there must be that intimacy. I come to emotional need because as far as marriage is concerned, when we understand them, we can see how flowing our love can be. In emotional need of marriage, I talk about the issue that this is a marriage or a state where there is honesty and openness. Emotionally, there should be honesty and openness. In the time of our primary school, those times, say there was a crooked man who lived in a crooked house. He had a crooked sixpence, and they all lived together in a little crooked house. When the man is crooked, the whole thing in the house will be crooked. And so what we can do is the issue of honesty and openness. I dare to ask all of us hearing me, are you honest and open to your wife? Some men, the secret of the family is known by friends outside, not the wife inside. Some women, the secret of the family is known outside by their friends, not even the people inside. When you do that, you are destroying the emotional need of the family. And we talk about, not only that, we talk about the issue of intimate communication, intimate conversation, a sitting down together to joke. One of the days we hear in the book of Genesis that the king did not, after all, Isaac had told him that the wife is a sister. But one time he looked at them from the window and saw the way they were playing intimacy and playing. He said, this is not true. He said, why did you deceive me? There should be intimacy. There should be that communication. There should be that recreational companionship. I know that sometimes we can go out on recreational issues in order to help. And the other one here is the physical need of marriage. The physical need of marriage, we know, has to do with affection, love, and sex. Physical. Has to do with affection, love, and sex. You hear some women will say, how many times? After all, must it be every time? Must it be this? Must it be that? Let's think again. Let's know. When we know the physical need of our partner, we'll know exactly what we can do to make things go. So when we look at marriage and we look at love, this is where we can see this happening. But going beyond that, you can realize that in Ephesians, to those of us who are married, that when, so that I will talk to them, no problem. We see that Ephesians chapter 5 verse 21 emphasize on submitting love. Let me come to the marital people direct now. There must be, if there must be success in marriage, the aspect of submitting love. Submit yourself one to another. It's not all the time that the man can be right. It's not all the time that the woman can be right. Submission is not stupidity. Submission is I let go in order to gain. I let go in order to gain. I allow myself to be somebody to win me so that I can win tomorrow. So submission, somebody say, if you submit, you are stupid. No, it's not that. It's to let go in order to gain. So that by tomorrow, you can stand on where it is and then make it. So when you go to the Ephesians 5:21, it really talk about the submitting. Submit yourself one to another in the fear of God. There should be submitting love in marriage. There should be an aspect, I should not do it, but let me do it in order to prove a case or to encourage. In Esther chapter 10, verse 30, there's what we call a caring love. The Bible says Mordecai was great because he thought about the welfare of his people. Today are days that men may not even feel interested in what is going on in the home, and the women can carry all the burden. Woman, don't worry. Whatever you do for your children, you come to enjoy the fruit of your labor. After all, I have seen by experience, when a child has finished training and he goes to work, the first person he or she remember to give a gift to is the mother, not even the father yet. If he buys things, he will buy valuable and costly things to the mother. That shows that you are the one that carry more of the burden of me. So let there be a caring love, a love that we think when that comes into the marital home, there will not be a time to say, woman, come and kneel down. Some men come to a position that the wife must kneel down and beg for money. And beg for money. Someone told me, tell my wife, because they had a problem, they come. He said, tell my wife, as far as I'm concerned, anytime I want to eat, I want in my plate of soup to be some mountains on the plate of soup. I said, what is the mountain? He said, a big meat in the place, in the thing. I said, how much do you give to the wife? He said, 2,000 naira. I said, can 2,000 naira cook any better food in Nigeria? You are the problem. So we are saying that if we must have an issue to make love what it should be, there must be a caring love relationship. We care for one another. We understand what is going on. Outside that is what we call the nourishing love. The nourishing love. Do you remember what the Bible said? That when a man marry a wife, he should not go out for war. He should remain for 1 year to nourish and cherish the wife. In Ephesians or in Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 9, he said, enjoy your wife. If the Bible is saying so, there's this nourishing aspect. Let's see what we can do to make love a nourishing one. It may not even be mothers and fathers to our children. The care you care for your child today will make it important. If we nourish them, they will recognize the love that we have. And then in Isaiah, Songs of Solomon 7 verse 10, we talk about the respecting love. There must be this aspect of love among the couple, the respecting love. Respecting love will help a woman calculate the word he speaks to the husband. Respecting love will help the man to calculate what he speaks to the wife. There will be restraint in what we say and how we say it. But when there's no respect, can call, look here, if you come here, kneel down. Even in your father's house, do they have anything? And as if that woman was not coming from a home, as if the woman did not have a value. So let's have a respecting kind of love. This is where the mindset of the people that are married must go beyond having a wife as a slave in the house and having a wife as somebody they can rest, they can honor, they can give regards to. And we go to Songs of Solomon or Hebrews chapter 3 verse 4, and we have what we call a building love. A building love. I don't know whether you understand one thing. The Bible says marriage is honorable and the babe undefiled. That is not only talking about infertility, a situation that there is a extramarital affair. There's something is saying there, the deeper aspect of it. You know, I want to let us know that the Bible has 7 layers. The Bible has 7 ways we can interpret it and it still give us what God is looking for. So one of the things the Bible is saying there is, whatever you do as a husband, marital husband and wife, it is not a sin if it goes to the satisfaction of one another. Whatever you do in bed to satisfy one another, it is not a sin. It's undefiled. Do whatever you can do to encourage and build up your husband, build up your wife. That's why most of the time it flows in the sexual perspective of it. How do we encourage one another to be what they should be? We have in Proverbs chapter 5 what I call the satisfying love. And these are all about marriage. And these are all what the marital partner should know. The Bible says, set me as a seal upon your arm. Love is as strong as death. Like all this Proverbs 5:15. He said, let your breast satisfy him. Let her be there, this and be that and be that and be that. So when we come to marriage and we come to say, we don't talk about spirituality. We talk about it must be satisfying aspect of marriage, where spiritual satisfaction, moral satisfaction, social satisfaction, and emotional satisfaction comes in. If you did not see that in your marriage, there is a need for us to go in. And that's why this class is here to tell us. Along the line of still love, we have what we call a cherishing love relationship. Cherishing love relationship. I love the statement of Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 9. He said, rejoice with the wife of your youth and let your heart cherish her. In our language, it means enjoy. Take her to where she can relax. Sometimes in the midst of what is going on, go to somewhere and stay. If you may not go to somewhere outside because you may be like some of us say, anywhere you go, people know you. And people will say, he has come here. You stay in the house and celebrate in your house. And let the woman feel, I married a caring husband. And let the husband feel, I married a caring wife. There should be that satisfaction, that situation that I make my wife to be satisfied. Do you know there's some days you can ask your wife, have I satisfied you in this life? Have you gotten satisfaction in this marriage? There are times, woman, you can ask your husband, have I really satisfied you? Or what can I do to satisfy you? Because every human being longs for satisfaction. Even God himself wants to be satisfied by the action that we are taking. So when we come into this satisfaction aspect, we make each other to feel, I have done the best I can. You go extra mile to make sure that your partner is what your partner should be. There is another aspect called a supporting love relationship. A supporting love relationship. That time you are there to support the work of your hands. Woman, remember Proverbs chapter 14. Say, a wise woman build her house, but the wicked one pluck it down with her hands. And the Bible says, who can find a virtuous woman? There are two types of people that are missing in the world. I tell people who are married to take note. In this Proverbs 31, verse 10, what a person that is needed is a virtuous woman. He said, who can find? Because her price is wonderful. But when you go to Proverbs chapter 22, he said, a faithful man who can find. Which means we are lacking faithful men and we are lacking women who are virtuous. But if we can make that to make the marriage home what the marriage home should be, we see the supportive interest and the aspect that the interests of their partner become their interest, even in his or her weakness. And we see what we can do to help, that can be good. And we have in Songs of Solomon chapter 2, verse 14, a communicating love. I have said this before. Please, let's communicate. Communication widens our scope. Proverbs 22, verse 4, talk about educating love. You know, there are sometimes, because of our differences and because of who we are, I have said, you can never force a woman to become like you as a man. And you cannot force a man to be like you as a woman. Every one of us have our unique interests, our unique stand, and we have our personal ego that makes us to be what we are. Therefore, we need not to force one another, but there is something we can now do here, a situation of educating, enlightening, letting the person to know these are areas why I cannot do it is this way, why I cannot do it is the other way. And when we do this, you see, we are building up what it should be. And never forget, there must be a forgiving love. What I've come to see today is that many marital people, they don't have a forgiving spirit. They can remember the story somebody did to him. I know a man died. He was a minister of the gospel. I went with the people to bury him. And after the burial, 2 months, the wife called me and told me, please, my daddy, please, I want to tell you. I said, what? He said, I have found something. Do you know that the husband at the back of his Bible wrote all the mistake of the woman from the day the woman came into the house? The day she refused to have sex with him. The day she went to the market, I'll come back late. From the day they married till the day he died. And you know, this man who kept all this record, he never kept the ATM card, bank account, nothing about the man that record, only failure of the woman. And I say, have you found any place about money? He said, nothing like money. There are some people like that. Where is he going? And he was a minister. And you can marry, everything is secretive. Everything, this one keep it this way, this one keep it this way. And up till today, the woman don't know how much he had and how much he didn't have. But only what he could know is the mistake he did from the day he came into the marital home. If you are such a person, there's a need to go and tear that record. Because my Bible tells me that when God forgive us, he remember our sin no more forever. So let's come into that and see that forgiving love can actually make a lot of things. Everybody's prone to make mistakes. It's only God alone who goes beyond making mistakes. There is in Psalms chapter 144, when we talk about the polishing love. I love that Psalm 144, especially verse 11 to 15. He said, when love is what it should be, your children, your daughters shall be like a polished shaft. Your male shall be like this. Your wife shall be like this. Let there be a polishing type of love, a decorating type of love, a word that your husband may not know the word to speak, but when you are there, you ask some sweet words in order to make him rich. Let it be in the home. For when that is done, things will go the way it ought to go. And we have what we call an assuring love relationship. That is 1 John chapter 3, verse 19. Assuring love relationship. If there is anything a woman is looking for in marriage, it's assurance that tomorrow it shall be well. That if you cannot do today, tomorrow you will do it. But some people, even when they be with you in hard times, when things are okay, we forget about them. Let there be an assuring aspect of love. I assure you, it will be well. And whatever promise you make, remember, I say again, women are multifaceted. She will remember what you said 20 years ago. You may forget it. And we have what we call unshakable kind of love. That's Songs of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 6. Unshakable kinds of love. The Bible says no water can quench love, neither can flood drown it. And if a man can give all his substance for love, then he will contempt. And the last aspect of love we can see, or how we can make it, is if you can flow in all this. I want to close by this 12 ways to make somebody fall in love with you as your partner. If we really want to make love go very well, if I want to talk about love, I think almost out of my 12 books I've written on marriage, I think almost 7 of them carry issue of love, because it is important. 12 ways. If we want to have a mindset of real loving, I suggest the following. The ways we can do is make sure you are the kind of person the man is looking for or the woman is looking for. If you want to make somebody fall in love with you, try to live a life to convince him or her that you were the kind of person she was looking for. I believe in every mind of people, like in my book when I call being the best in marriage, I've stated that every woman has expectation of the kind of man they want to marry. Every man has expectation before they come to marry, a yardstick, a level of measurement of whom they want to marry. And if you want to be a partner that really show that you have a real mindset of love, I said to convince him, make sure you are the kind of person he's looking for. Try as much as you can. Don't do what you, like as I said, don't fake it to get it. But present yourself in the way. Tell God, Lord, make me the kind of person this man I want to marry is. Because everybody's expectation fluctuates or is destroyed if it comes to be disappointed. So that is number one. Number two, find out what is missing in the person's life and feel it. I'm saying this to us who are married. Don't complain much about your husband or your wife. Find out what is missing in his life. Then feel it. And when you feel, you see, when he knows that you are now the person that can really fit the needs, he will now appreciate and embrace what you are saying. So when we talk about how to make somebody fall in love with you, how to make your partner fall in love with you, young people, you are here. I don't say how to deceive people and then they become your friend. And then you sleep. After that, you do something we call find it, finish it, dump it, and then go your way. Find it, fool it, and finish. You find a girl, you fool the girl, you finish up by sex, and then you dump her and forget her. The 4F in marriage, deceiving. Don't do that, but rather do what we are talking now. The third one we said is, if you really want to convince someone and make your partner marry you and love you, we say number 3, there must be a mysterious activities. Make your partner want to know you more and more. Today you can show the other side of your life. Tomorrow you show the other kind of your life. We have different compartment around us. You can show the love aspect. You can show the cherishing aspect. You can show all those, and it can really work very well. The world will be good if love is given the proper place in life. And we say, make yourself available, but only up to the point. Make yourself available. But when you know that if for you who are not yet married and the young ones, the Bible says, flee from all appearances of evil. But if you are married, make yourself available. Whatever could be done in order to encourage one another, there is a need to do that. Don't make it seem like you are trying to be hard in life. I come to see in the marital home, some married partners have a problem because they try to seem to be hard. My husband knows that I'm not easy. My wife knows that I'm not simple. That is a statement from hellfire, and we need to throw it down. Don't make yourself seem to be too hard for your partner. Because when you look at that and the man or the woman look at what you are saying and want to continue in that direction, he will also fortify himself, and there will be two battle enemies in the house. Two lions who will be fighting together, and one day must submit. Don't make yourself too hard. To every woman that's hearing me all over the world, don't make yourself too hard. I want to prove tough now. I should do, after I'm a woman now. No, don't do that. It is not applicable. It's not the word of God. It's not supported by the scripture. It's not even supported by nature. Let's be simple enough. The same thing with man. Don't say because I married that woman, let me be tough to her. I can't give her what she wants till she kneels down and beg me. Do you know women are human beings? They can tolerate you the first and second day. After that, they can say, after all, I'm a human being too. I had a wonderful experience. And I was told that we had to go and then salvage the situation. A woman made herself to be too hard for the husband. The husband did not have anything. She had some money and she had some life to live. And so she had to have Cain in the house. So when she had her Cain in the house, when the husband talked anything, he would lock the door and beat the husband very well. And so the neighbors will go around and say, why is it like this? They say, because he has locked the door, nothing could happen. He did not know that the man was keeping himself for one day. She did like that for some time. The neighbors told us about the whole story. We advised them they didn't work. One day, when the woman went out for hustling for her money, the man went and bought a lot of cane and keep in the house. And when the woman come as usual, as she normally want to be too hard for the man, and the woman start to say, the husband, you will see me today, lock the door. And the man said, okay, today is my day. Remove the key and put in his pocket, and beat the woman until the woman fainted. Neighbors did not go there. Nobody went there because she was seeming to be very strong. And here, another power has come. Please, if we want to maintain a good marital home, don't make yourself to be too hard for your partner. Let it be simple. It might be say, I was joking, I was only bluffing, that sometimes bluffing cannot help. Check Songs of Solomon chapter 2 and chapter 3. That woman, when the friend was hitting on or knocking the door, he said, I have slept. I've lied down on my bed, so I cannot come up. And when the man left, he said, my heart was pouring in my heart in order to look for him. And when I went and looked for him, I could not find him. The people who were there, they beat me very well. And so he was lying and said, please, if you see my love, tell him I'm sick of love. Let us not be too tough. If you are such, please change your life. God cannot make you to be a tough woman only for your husband. But when you go, you bow down for others. God cannot make you to not to greet your husband, but you will be greeting others with humility. Let's do this, and we say it will help us. And we look at the issue, don't make it seem too long. And the other one, have a mutual friendship. Make your husband or your wife a mutual friend. A mutual friend is somebody who never hurts. And if you hurt, you can quickly talk about and then say it. Please forget about what was going on. Respect things and repeat things without being bored. If you say something today, after all, I said yesterday, you didn't hear, don't do that in your marital home. When love comes in, there will be a kind of repeating of things, not even taking is boring. I said it yesterday. Does he say I should say it today again? Yes, you should continue to say it. There are people who are quick to know, and there are people who takes time before they can know what they are doing. And if you want to win somebody to love you or remain in the love that God wants, do things that allow both of you to think together positive. Do things that allow both of you to think positively. This one will think negative, the other one will think otherwise. And finally, I say use what do we call, be the lady or the man that your wife or your husband is looking for. These are the things that love will say. I want to have a break here so that if there is any question in anywhere, we can have. Next time we'll talk about that, but tomorrow we should really talk about the issue of marriage because it's also my heartbeat. This has to be a continuation. God bless you as we talk about love and marriage together.
Wow, wow, wow. I was just sitting down, relaxing here, Grace, getting all these points. I also need to work on some of the points because, like I said, we are here to learn, to improve ourselves, to get better. No matter how long you've been married, no matter how long you've been building your relationship, your friendship, you still need to learn one thing or the other. And I believe that some of these points here, I'm looking at it, I'm going to be working on my own marriage too. We've been married for 32 years. Papa has been married for 40 something years or 50 years. And you see the kind of valuable wealth of knowledge and wisdom and experience that he has really shared with us. And I want to say that yes, we can transform our lives. Yes, we can transform our relationship. And yes, we can transform our love and also our marriage. And that is what this masterclass is all about. So I want to say thank you so much, sir, Reverend Professor Akpabio.
Thank you.
Now I'll open up, but before I open up for the question and answers, may I use this time to welcome and appreciate all our great leaders on this platform. Ambassador Oluwambe Adenatai, thank you, sir, for joining us. Ambassador Stephen Temitope Davidson, thank you, sir, for joining us. Dr. Lonsington, Tom, thank you for joining us. Honorable Jala Paul, thank you for joining us. Honorable Christian Uzere, thank you for joining us. Honorable Christiana Okedu, thank you, ma'am, for joining us. Ambassador Joseph Odinson, thank you for joining us. Dr. Samina, thank you, ma'am, for joining us. And Ambassador Lukman, my PA, thank you so much for joining us. And to all our great leaders on this platform of Facebook, Quitinva, thank you for joining us. Joyce Matanga, thank you for joining us. Floppy Rakwa Savino, thank you for joining us. And many, many more. We appreciate you. And please share the button and invite others to join on the Facebook. And if they have opportunity to join us on the Zoom, that is also fantastic. So thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you've jotted few points for you to look at it, study it well, gain more a better understanding, and apply it to your love life. Remember, the whole world will be celebrating Valentine tomorrow. And the best gift that you can give to everyone is knowledge. The best gift is the reality of life. The best gift is to buy books or to invite them to this kind of masterclass for them to get better in their love life, in their marriage, in their relationship, and even in their family. By the time we all work together and work and get better, the whole world will be better than what we are seeing right now. So thank you so much. Now it is question time. The first question, sir, on the platform. How do we handle the dilemma of unforgiveness between the couples or in the marriage? We can't hear you, sir. We can't hear you. Please bear with us.
Hello?
Yes, yes, we can hear you now. Yes.
You can hear now? Okay.
Yes.
There is one thing about human being. Human nature want to preserve its self-instinct, want to be right at all times, and don't want to feel that he has submitted to other people. And that is where it seems to be a little bit hard in the aspect of forgiving. I tell people always make a statement, you can forgive, but you cannot forget. But I come to say that by experience, you can forget and forgive. Because the Bible said, God forgive our sin and remember them no more forever. Whenever there is a remembering of what somebody have done to you, there will be a hurt inside you. And when there is that hurt inside you, you will feel bad. So I say, if you ask, how can we forgive and forget? I say, word, let go. To remember that he did you bad. When that thought come, let go. There will be a mind. What did you do when you did me this? Why didn't I ask? Let go such a mind. Because in human relationship, we say your behavior can affect my feelings, and my feeling can affect your behavior. And if that can be so, whatever I feel can actually affect the other person. So the only way for us to do is to let go. Yes, he did me bad. Yes, he wounded me. Yes, he slapped me. Yes, he ignored me and scorned me. And now he's looking for me. I let go. Do you hear what the Bible said in that 1 Corinthians 13, verse 8? Love. He talked about all things, beareth all things, endureth all things, hopeth all things. So he didn't say endure half, but endure all things, hope all things. So to do that, there will be offenses among the husband and the wife. There must be some things of not agreeing together, because the bitter truth is that two people cannot be the same. You cannot be like your husband cannot be like you. So what you can do is, when the thought comes, let go. When the reactive spirit comes in, what should you do? Let go. When that thing we call self-preserving instinct, you want to preserve yourself, preserve your dignity, preserve your integrity, let go, and then embrace the person as he did not know. One other place in the scripture, in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 18, it says, whosoever want to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, so that through his foolishness he can be wise. You can apply that. Seem to become a fool. People will say you are very stupid. You could have done this. You could have done that. Don't worry. If you allow God to have his way, all you want is a peace of mind. It's a cordial relationship. It's a position of not talking about win-lose. Because in relation, we have win-win, we have win-lose, we have lose-lose, and we have lose-win. If you don't talk about win-win, or I win, you win, I lose, you lose. Therefore, let's agree together, it will work. So my only advice is, if somebody has hurt you, your husband has hurt you, your wife has hurt you, and it is very difficult for you to bear it, let go. When the thought comes in, let go. When it doesn't come in, let go, so that you can have a free mind to continue your loving. And when God sees that your heart is clear, He will give you the grace to be sustained.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's a great answer. Thank you so much. I think before we move on again, there's another questions, and I think it's still the same. No, the first questions was from Christian Uzeri. Now another question is from Emmanuel Charles. And then the question is, how do we handle friends or relationship that doesn't like communication?
Please ask again. I don't hear well.
Okay, how do we handle friends or relationships that doesn't like communication.
Okay. You know, there are some people who are shy of talking. And so they feel that I don't know what I will say because of the aspect of human weakness. And there are three things there. One, the person that wants the other person to understand. Maybe having anything he talk about, he will not take it as correct. So the other person will not feel that he can suggest anything to the person. And what he does is he closes her mouth or his mouth, whether for good or bad. You know, there is something that David said in Psalms chapter 35 or 39. He said, it came to a point I closed my mouth from saying anything good or anything bad until it mews out of me. I say, what am I waiting for? So if you come to a situation that a partner is like that, all it needs to do is to go back to studying, understanding the person, knowing why what he does, he do it, and what he doesn't do. When we have a clear understanding, like in my book, when I talk about understanding a man, we talk about the 25 different kinds of people in the world, their character, their characteristic, their weakness, their strengths, and everything about them. If you have such information, you can now help to study man and know who man is. This thing called man is terrible. This thing called woman is wonderful. So when we look at them, for you to actually talk about whether it's white, whether it's black, whether it's anybody, the nature is still the same. It's only the color that differs. So what we can only do is a close study with one another, a giving of a little time to see how there will be a change. And then also a doing all you can to bring the person up. Like we have here in Y.Y.C.I International, the major duty is to develop, to educate, and to learn, to bring people from where they are to where they are or where they should be. Like in our ministry, we say Kingdom Builders Ministry. We have in mind that we are building people for the kingdom, a people who also will also build the kingdom by the works they do for God. So when we have such a mind and such intellect, it will help us. You be with the person, tolerate him sometimes, flow with him sometimes, but getting away out of the marriage is not the best of it. Because sometimes we look about the issue of divorce, we look about separation, and so it is correct. Some people talk determined to succeed. At least your word will be there to be speaking to the mind of that person to know exactly what should be done. I believe if we do that, the marriage go on.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate that. Any other question? I'm checking. Or do you want to say your question? Any other question, please, quickly, so that we can move on. We still have great leaders that are still also going to speak after our Papa. So any question quickly? If there is no question, then all right. Yes, they are satisfied with your answers, sir. So they're saying thank you. So any other question? If there is no question, then we want to use this time to express our gratitude to Reverend Professor Anefeok Akpabio and for this amazing topic that you've really shared with us on transforming mindset for transforming love. And that is very important at this moment, at this season, at this time, especially when people are preparing to celebrate Valentine tomorrow. So if you have missed out anything that Professor Akpabio have shared with us today, please visit YYCI.tv YouTube channel. It will be available there today. And also keep watching on Facebook as well on Yes You Can International. Thank you so much. Is this a
Thank you.
question? And before, let me see this. Is this a question from Dr. Lonson? In a relationship where two partners are hurt, tempered, no, in a relationship where two partners are hot-tempered, the woman can destroy things in the house, starve the other person. How can such people live peacefully. Wow. Did you get the question?
In that aspect, am I heard?
Yes.
When two of them, when there is a madman, the place to go is psychiatric. So, so if the husband is hot-tempered and the wife is hot-tempered and they can stab one another, kill one another, they should take them to spiritual psychiatric. And I think that is where God has to do a work. It all begins from the beginning. And we must know, how did they come into that marriage? What motivated the marriage? What was the foundation of that marriage? Because some of the things, because the devil knows that marriage is one of the things that God is interested about. He wants to bring a wrong man to a wrong woman. Bring a wrong woman to the man so as to frustrate what God. It begins from the man not yet married. Before they marry, is causing the aspect of his life or her life and still flow on. And that thing can be manifested in years. There are some people who believe that a woman don't show the true color of who she is until after putting birth to 2 or 3 children. By that time, she knows she's secure. Then she can bring out. But that may not be all what we believe about, because those are eventual and circumstantial situation. So if the woman is hot and the man is hot and they can kill one another, that is where there should be an aspect of spiritual psychiatric treatment. A church should be consulted. Psychologically, it should be known what is actually the problem of the man or the woman. Sometimes it might be an environmental issue. Sometimes, most of the time, there is a coming into life and spilling over the lifetime. And if somebody did not allow himself to be dealt with by God, he can transfer certain virus from the home down there. But there are some whom they might be some of them may not be spiritual enough to have a resisting force to everything that can on them. So somebody them stay perpetually in that trouble. In such a case, a minister of the gospel who knows his relationship with God should be consulted, who will take them into the spiritual realm, pray with them for deliverance. They both need deliverance. For God has not called us to trouble, but for peace in marriage. So when there is that issue, I really suggest psychiatric, spiritual. They should not to go and tie them rope and say they stay here. And some churches will carry cane and beat them 12 strokes every day, every time. That does not solve any problem. It is a spiritual matter, and it should be handled spiritually by prayers, by deliverance, by understanding the word of God. And secondly, somebody who is a psychiatric medically can come in order to give advice. There are certain times some people say, my spirituality doesn't pay, forget about that. There is an issue that a medical person will give an answer and give a suggestion to. But in all, let us know that that may bring death at the end of the issue. And a marriage counselor, a spiritual person, a deliverer, and a medical personnel should come together and bring an answer that will help them to succeed.
Thank you, sir. That is amazing, amazing, amazing. Let me see. First, I believe that you are satisfied, Dr. Lonson, with the answer. I know the connection is trying to distort, but I believe you've picked up more than 1 point from that. So thank you so much. I think he's satisfied. I can see that's good. Great. Thank you so much, sir, Reverend Professor Akpabio Akpabio. You've really dealt with this mindset of transformation, transforming love. And I think you also pick up a little bit from marriage and relationship because they are all integrated somehow. But he is coming back tomorrow. Professor Akpabio is coming back tomorrow to come and share with us on marriage. That means the mindset for transforming marriage. So please join us tomorrow and let us learn together so that we can improve ourselves, improve our relationship, and be happy. So thank you so much, sir, for joining us. And it's your sis- and it's
Thank you
your
very much.
and it's your sister that will be the next person to be speaking to us. So please stay. I know you are
I
very,
should
very
listen to her.
busy. I know you are very, very busy, but we love you to let us all learn from our great woman of God. So
God.